Welcome to the Ripple Effect by the Alliance. We are committed to raising the frequency of our planet. We'll discuss hot topics, share practical tools and sacred frequencies to reveal the magic in your life. Come laugh, cry, and have fun with us.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ripple Effect podcast with your hosts, myself, Sarah, Stacia, and Hannah. We are the Alliance. Hello. We are getting ready to kick off the Gratitude Ripple, a journey into abundance. This is a week-long event where we are going to be sending you prompts. We are going to be challenging you to, testing your ability to receive and just bathe in gratitude. You might have already registered. Hopefully, you've listened to our episode from last week where we talk about gratitude, why we're doing this, why it's important, how much it's impacted our lives and changed our lives for the better, and the tools that we use. So that's what we're going to be helping you with for the next week. So if you haven't registered yet, I want you to go to the link that's in the show notes when you're listening to this and register. We have a lot of cool, fun things planned for you. We have prizes, we have a celebration. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So go do that, but wait, do that after. Listen to the episode first, because this episode is called 3 Feet from Gold. And we want you to take this in. You might even want to listen to this partway through doing the week-long gratitude ripple to motivate you and keep you going. And this is about like when we start something and do we follow through and finish. And also maybe you registered and you're hearing me talk and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I registered for that. Oh, that's starting tomorrow. Oh, I forgot. So this is going to help, we hope, keep you motivated and get you inspired to taking action and doing the things and following through with this. And, the way you show up for this might impact the way you show up for other things in your life. And you just don't know how much of a ripple effect it will have with you. So we called this 3 Feet from Gold, and Hannah, before we came on, had that idea and she's like, oh, it's from a story. So I would love, Hannah, for you to share the story, even though I don't like the ending, but I think people can, but there's a lesson from it. I love the story and the lesson from it. So I'll pass
Yeah,
the mic over to you.
thank you, Sarah. Yes, yeah, we don't like the story because it's kind of sad, but it's so true. It strikes a chord, right? And I'm not sure if this is an anonymous author, if it was the part of the Bible. I'm not a Bible scholar, but it's a story about this man who bought this land, and they had told him that the land had gold. So he spent years digging holes and looking for the gold. After X amount of years, he was getting older and he realized that, all his search had been in vain. He hadn't found any gold. He never struck gold. And he thought, well, it was, a waste of time, but I'm not going to keep wasting my time. I'm going to go look for my riches elsewhere before I'm too old to even enjoy them. So he packed up, sold his land for pennies, and went off in search of his gold. Well, the person who bought the land dug a hole 3 feet from the last hole that this man had dug. And lo and behold, he struck gold. Right? So it tells you of a story of a person who's almost there. We almost make it, right? How many times do we start something and we almost make it to the finish line, but for whatever reason, we quit. We get discouraged. Somebody tells us it's a waste of time and we listen. That's why it's so important to keep your ideas and your projects to yourself until they flourished. Because, and somebody said it the other day, I heard, it was like, if you tell someone you're going to open a restaurant, they're going to tell you, oh, what a stupid idea. Businesses fail in the first 5 years. You're never going to make it. Everybody's going to tell you all the reasons why it's not going to make it. But if you go and tell the same people, hey, I just opened a restaurant, everybody's going to say, oh, great. When can we go? Tell us where it is so we can go to your restaurant. right? And support you. And it's so true. So if you have an idea, if you have a project, if you have a vision, if you have a dream, just hold on to it, work for it. And when it blooms, when it happens, people are going to, the people who would have told you it's a stupid idea are going to be the first people to celebrate you. God knows it's happened to me, and I'm sure it's happened to you ladies, right? When the negativity, everybody tends to, because of that human nature, right, that we've discussed in the past, of looking at all the pitfalls, everything that could go wrong to keep us safe. So people might be doing it for the right reasons, trying to keep you safe, trying to avoid you going through pain or disappointment or heartache, but it's not necessarily the right thing for each person, right? I think that's, in a way, why we've created such a generation of children that are not willing to try anything or are afraid to try, because it's not like, well, try it, and if you fall, we'll help you get up. It's don't even try it in the first place.
Yeah. And I think when I heard, when you're saying that, well, two things. One, it was like when you're saying the story and like the ending, yeah, we don't like it, but it was like, it's kind of like a wake up call. It's like, okay, where am I doing this in my own life? Like that's where like, oh, it hits you. It's like, okay, where have I done that? And when you're talking about like sharing, if you've already told someone, even if you've already like, oh, I'm doing this challenge, and someone's like shooting you down, it's like, it's, let it be your prove it moment to be like, you know what, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like there's nothing like, okay, make this a challenge with yourself. Like I'm gonna prove to people that I can do this. And the other thing I want to say is, whenever I've been really solid and certain in something, it didn't matter who I told. um it was like I had a suit of armor on. But if I was wonky in it myself and I told someone, it was like Hannah saying, it's like, then it was like, oh, that was all I needed to deflate my balloon and be like, okay, I shouldn't do this, right? So just because somebody has a perception of like, oh, that won't work, or these are all the things that can go wrong, or here's the limitations in that, um that's their perspective. So it's like that, yes, that's true, that is an outcome that can happen, that's reality. But the other reality is, it could happen, it could be a big success. You could have so much wonderful things happen in your life because of doing it. This could bring in so much joy and happiness and abundance. And why not go after that? Because either outcome is possible, but by you making a decision like, oh, I want to follow through and do this, the chances of the outcome that you really want to happening is more likely than if you obviously just say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this. Well, yeah, well, now look at you, then you prove them right. So I say,
Right.
prove them wrong.
Right. And the thing is, once you're certain and you've made that decision, that point you touched on is so important, because once you've decided, nothing is gonna take you down. But if you allow one nano doubt come in, it's like the kiss of death, right? What tiny little doubt has destroyed many ideas before they even get started. Yeah. So don't let anybody shoot you down before you even start.
Yeah. Right. I think that sometimes they use that because they have that fear of failure. So they're looking for that outside, validation that it's not going to work. And it's like, oh, found it. Better stop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. And sometimes the question, it's like people say, what could go wrong? And they start answering all the things that could go wrong. But what if we start asking, what could go right?
Yeah.
Right. And start looking for all the things that could go right if it actually happens. And just asking a different question. It's like the same question, just backwards, right? But just asking it in a different way, or asking a different question, can make a difference in your outcome. And frankly, when we get stopped from going after our dreams, our visions, our our heart's calling,
Mm.
we're selling ourselves short, and we're selling the world short.
Yeah.
You know, and right now, more importantly than ever, I think more important than any other time, at least in my lifetime, I think we should be with the no excuses mantra.
Mhm.
And just stop with the reason, excuses, circumstances for not doing something,
Yeah.
because it'll take you the same time to not do it than to do
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. And you had shared a quote from before, and it was, if you want something you never had, I wrote it down because I loved it. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. And I know for me, when I started out on my gratitude journey, it was like that's what I wanted so badly, right? Like I just had that burning desire for, I knew, I was like, I knew I just had this fire in me. I'm like, I knew I'm meant for something more. But it took doing something different, right? And you might be listening to this, and this is a whole, like, believe me, I know, like, the gratitude can be a foreign concept, and you're like, well, how can this really have such a big impact? Believe me, it does. Like, it changed all of our lives, like our story from last week. And it took stepping outside and doing things a little differently, to have that, to see that happen, right? So
It's just basically taking on a different point of view
different
and letting
perspective, different
go.
point of view. Yeah.
Yeah, and letting go of our idea of how things are, because we may be mistaken sometimes. You know, the things that we think are so right,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes are imprints. They've been given to us by generations who thought these things, and we're like, yeah, you're a gung-ho, you know. And then you get, you know, wars between the Arabs and the Israelis because of generations. And if you ask the people nowadays and the young people if they want to be at war, I can guarantee that 90% at least are going to say no. Who wants to be at war, especially for something that happened so long ago, and we're still, it's like, talk about holding a grudge, okay?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, does it mean that they're wrong? No. Does it mean that they're right? No.
No.
But what could we do different that will give us a different outcome that could create magic and abundance and prosperity for all? There's enough resources in this entire planet
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that there's nobody going hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredible how, you know, maybe one idea, you know, we talked about Water Day, right? And about how this one guy went and did this, you know, the Water for All, or I can't remember the name of this charity water.
Yeah.
Charity water. And this one guy decided he's going to give water to people who don't have it, and he's on a mission. So what if you, listener, are on a mission or have an idea that's brilliant? And so I'm imploring you, do not let anybody crush your dreams. So if you're not 100%, 1,000% certain that you're on it, and nobody's gonna, no matter what they say, nobody's gonna deter you from it, go ahead and share it. But if you have a little bit of room for that doubt to creep in and grow like a freaking vine around you,
Yeah.
and bring you down, then stay quiet and work in silence, and just get it done. Get it done. And how you do anything, we keep saying this, right? How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes.
So 1 week of gratitude may change your life if you understand this concept.
Yeah. Wow. That was powerful, Hannah.
No, thank you.
This is going to be a short episode because we wanted to make sure you guys like get into it. We want you to be able to re-listen to this during the week if you need to. So it's a quick, short episode that you can, like, if you feel like you're falling off the wagon, you can re-listen 3 days from now and get back on with us. So I'm going to hand it over to Stacia for our quote of the day. Dun, da, da, da.
Before I go into the quote of the day, it's so funny that, you know, we took the turn of people you think that will support you can sometimes become that that object that just knocks you right off of where you're trying to get to. Because when I started going to the gym at 5:45 in the morning, I'm doing this for my health. I'm doing this, to better myself. And I got nothing but resistance. Why would you want to get up that early? I wouldn't get up that early. Oh, the gas prices are so high. Why are you driving that? It was just everything. And had I not been in that mindset of, I'm doing this for me to better myself, I could have easily said, oh yeah, you're right. And just stopped. But
Or
I
not
didn't.
even start.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You
So it's
wouldn't
really
be the
just,
jujitsu queen that you
Yeah,
are
now
right now.
you proved it. You had your prove it moment.
I am my prove it. But
Yeah.
it's just, even things that are so good for you, there's going to be someone telling you that's not what they would do, but that's not your journey.
No.
And so we just want to make sure that, you know that you can stand strong in who you are. And if you need to hold it in, and then just keep pushing forward. So now I'm going to jump into the quote of the day.
Quote of the day.
So this quote today is from a lady named Donna Goddard, and it's a writing called A Spiritual Voice. She's from Australia, and she wrote, "Keep going, be patient. No one achieves anything without dedication and determination. If you are thrown by every negative, disappointing things that happen, you won't get anywhere. The most successful people in any field have one pointed focus. They do not get sidetracked, and they do not give up."
Stacia.
Okay. Like, oh yeah, I gotta find a quote. It's like it was written for this episode.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Amazing. And we always tell Stacia, don't tell us the quote
Yeah,
beforehand,
no.
because we want to be surprised. And
always
every
have
time
goosebumps.
I'm shocked every time.
Yeah. That was perfect. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Stacia.
So remember, keep on going.
going.
Sign up
Don't
if you
give-
haven't already. Sign up.
Sign up. There's perks to signing up. And
Yes.
biggest message, don't give up before the breakthrough. 3 feet
Oh,
from
right.
gold, right?
3 feet from gold.
So remember that. And we're so excited that you're on this journey with us. And we are looking forward to celebrating with you live next week. Please rate, review, share the gratitude ripple if you got that armor on and other people who would want to participate.
Bring them in for the journey. There's
Bring
nothing
them-
more fun than doing it with friends.
There's exactly. So invite your friends to come along on the week-long journey with us, the gratitude ripple, and we will see you guys all on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ripple Effect by the Alliance with Hannah Martinez,
Stacia Stove,
And Sarah Jane Lita. We hope you're now vibing high and ready to create your own ripple.
Drop a comment or email to let us know the ripple effect that you are creating.
Music by our very own Hannah Martinez and music production by Onel Moulet.
Follow us on Instagram at The Ripple Effect Pod for more high vibration content. Please rate and review us wherever you listen.
Until next time.